Well, the time is now 5:30. We'll start the meeting of the Finance and Governance Committee meeting Wednesday the 21st of May 2025. I wish to welcome everybody to the May meeting of the Finance and Governance Committee. Standing committees are held as part of the council meeting process in order for committees to consider reports prepared by council officers and to make recommendations regarding these reports to the monthly council meeting. Council's delegates on the Finance and Governance Committee are Mayor Kennedy, Councillor Allgoat, Chairperson, Councillor Boland, Councillor Byrne, Councillor Chandler and Councillor Turley. All councillors undertook an oath or affirmation at the beginning of their term of office and declared to undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Broken Hill local government area and the city of Broken Hill, and that they will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in them under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of their ability and judgment. Live streaming and recordings of meetings. This committee meeting is being live streamed via YouTube and recorded and published online via Council's website. To those present in the meeting today, by attending this public meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The chairperson and or the general manager have the authority to pause the live stream if comments or debate are considered defamatory or otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Participants are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour or commentary. Call for apologies.
Councillor Turley.
Councillor Turley's apology, and can we have a mover that Councillor Turley, Councillor Byrne? Second, Mayor Kennedy. All those in favour? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Leave of absence, nil.
Nil.
Do we have the prayer, Mayor Kennedy?
Deputy Mayor Hickey's a leave of absence, isn't he?
Not on this committee.
Oh, he's not on this committee. How do you get out of that? Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessing upon this council, direct and prosper our deliberations to the advancement and true welfare of the people of the council area, our state and Australia. Amen.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Councillor Byrne.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet today, the land of the Willakali people, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging.
Thank you. All acknowledgement of the country, Councillor Boland.
We take time to reflect, remember and honour the over 800 miners that lost their lives and those that were crippled or maimed on the line of load. We thank the brave miners and their wives who were part of the 1919-1920 strike that lasted over 500 days and delivered a 35-hour working week. Mining is our past and future.
Thank you, Councillor Boland. Minutes, item 7, minutes for confirmation. Do we have a mover of the minutes?
Yeah, I'll move that way.
Councillor Chandler. Seconded. Councillor Byrne. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Disclosures of interests? No disclosures of interests. Move on to item 9, reports. Report number 1, Broken Hill City Council report number 80/25 dated May the 2nd, 2025. Quarterly budget review statements for the period ended 31st of March 2025. Do we have a mover for that?
Move that way.
Move, Councillor Boland. Seconder, Councillor Chandler. Speak to it.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I just want to note the operating surplus of 19,000 and the the net capital budget expenditure of 37.1 or just under 37.2 million. Looking at the budget review, there's just it's great to see the community events get support, but there's just one of the repayment of a grant that was of 135,120 to repay a grant that was issued to the Charles Rouse Library, received in 2022 to record the oral history of the members of the local Indigenous community. And I note that the project has been cancelled due to difficulties in recruiting a suitable person to undertake the work. That's quite an important project, and it's quite disappointing that that grant had to go back. And I'll just foreshadow at the council meeting that I'd like to see a report into why we couldn't find a suitable person to undertake the work, and if there's anything further we can do to try and get that important project off the ground, because recording the history of the local Indigenous community, especially the older elders as they get older, is very important. It's an important part of the culture out here, and along with our own mining history that needs to be recorded as well, oral recording of history. I think it's important, and yeah, I'd like to know why we couldn't recruit a suitable person to undertake that work.
So you'll add that to the motion? I add that to the recommendation?
I'll add that to the recommendation now, and yeah.
There'd be
The seconder.
there'd be no need to add that, would there? Just through the chair to the general manager, you'd be able to just provide written advice or something before that. What's happened anyway? We wouldn't need a.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll just get it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, just take it on notice and, okay.
Yeah, just on that. So when we did get that grant, which was a good grant, but also at the time we did want to get grants to record the oral history of lots of people in Broken Hill, because as people die, you lose that first-hand reference to your history. You then get it second-hand and you get it third-hand. A lot of the history now is already second-hand, and second-hand's not as accurate as first-hand, but as you go, it becomes more and more watered down. For example, we're just out at the cemetery today to honour or acknowledge the burial of a policeman that died in 1919. Out there also, there was ladies who do track down the graves and find out where everyone's buried and all this, and you find a lot of that history on Trove. So you see a lot that does happen. The problem is now we don't have a lot of that history that is being recorded, and that's why it's important that we do have these grants. And even if that's given back, I'd like to see us actually apply for grants that actually allow for the recording of all history. For example, the ABC does a lot of talking to people, and they get a lot of history recorded by doing those interviews. So there are people that do have the expertise to bring out the information that's required. And even if we use some of those people that do interviews with the ABC or whatever, that we do actually start to record some of that oral history before we lose it.
Okay, further comment? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item 2, Broken Hill City Council Report number 82/25, dated May the 8th, 2025, the investment report for April 2025.
Move that way.
Move Councillor Boland. Seconder. Councillor Byrne. Speak to it.
Thank you, Chair. Looking good. It's been an up and down few months with tariffs, etc. Interest rates went down yesterday. The RBA governor, I'll use the RBA, it's been a long day, said that she's quite happy that she thinks inflation's within the target. So be interesting going forward. But again, like I always bang on about every meeting, this is why it's important to have a balanced portfolio like we do.
Yeah. Any further comment? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item 3, Broken Hill City Council Report number 81/25 dated May the 9th, 2025. Nomination for appointment of the community representative to Section 355 Committee. Mr. Kevin Stacey to the Picton Oval. Do we have a mover? Move Councillor Byrne. Seconder? Councillor Boland. Speak to it, Councillor Byrne.
Yeah, just good to see that we're still getting nominations and filling some of these positions, and people are out there that are still interested in working with council and on these committees on these assets. Otherwise, once we lose these people, we lose these committees, and yeah, so it's only a good thing.
Yeah.
Just a question of, oh, sorry.
Go on. Questions?
Just a question of relating to 355 committees, just on being out at the cemetery, and there are people that are interested in tracking down unnamed graves. Is there a potential for council to form a group that would allow, with the budget, to allow to mark some of those unmarked graves? Just look at in the future, working party or whatever. We do have a committee, but all you'd need is really a blue stone with some sort of name tag on it.
Mr. General Manager?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, we can look at some of what the costings and include that into the cemetery group working party that's already established and make that a part of their terms of reference. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
And it'd be good to just invite the ladies that you'd find out through Ray Gardle, invite the ladies that do the research, because one of the things they acknowledged and kept on telling me was council records aren't always accurate. They've got the wrong people in the wrong rows. I said, well, that's why we've got you. So I think they'd be very keen to do that, and we can really make a difference out there. And those people are committed to finding graves, and it's sad when you have so many graves out there that don't even have any form of marking or even acknowledgement of who they are.
The council's records are fairly accurate nowadays. There's always going to be some graves that have been marked wrong, but
That's what they love doing, though, Bob, finding out the actual row that it is, rather, because some of the rows are marked as well.
Yeah.
So
the overall plan of the cemetery is not a really functional plan.
Good to get them on. I just think would be a great. So I put the pressure on them today when I was out there. So hopefully they do join.
That'll be handled just internally. Yeah. Any further comment on Councillor Chandler?
Yeah, the War Graves Commission have a really good insight into all military people out there. And they used to come up here every 12 months and do a couple of days' work on the war graves. I don't know whether they still do it, but they had a really good plan of the whole cemetery. I don't know where they got their information from, but they were good to follow through with them blokes.
Yeah, I think the RSL people used to do a fair bit of, local RSL people used to do a fair bit of work out there at odd times too.
Well, it might be worth getting on because his name was Rumfeld, I think, or something like that. He was actually about 100 metres in the wrong spot. So that's where all the... So the council records ended up being fairly accurate, but they had the name spelt wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that he was also from the Boer War. So he fought in the Boer War, and when he got back from the Boer War, he was enlisted by the police and ended up being out here, served in Broken Hill and Tippaborough.
Yeah. There's a tremendous amount of history out there, and yeah, a lot of it's lost. So, any further speakers? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Confidential matters, there are nil. Close the meeting at 5:45.